With 35 years experience working as president or chief financial officer, and with tools for data to share his knowledge and unique perspectives on technology spending, we're pleased to present to you Mr. John Ruffner.
New Canaan was a funny place to grow up in the 60s and 70s. We had crazy opportunities for us. We grew up around the titans of industry. In the 1970s, in high school, we were regularly grilled by the management teams of Fortune 500 companies as we waited for our dates to come downstairs. It was great training for us. But this story is really a story about two watches I own. The first is my father's, and the second, my wife gave me nearly 25 years later. You see, after college, I went to work for my father. He showed me his metric spreadsheets, one page for each business that he operated. Everything you needed to know about the business, finance, sales, manufacturing, told him all he needed to know about what was right and what was wrong. Frankly, I loved him. 2 years into working with my dad, he experienced a massive stroke. That forced his early retirement. I learned a lot about planning. I learned that his plan was for me to take over his business, and I learned that his plan also did not include his early departure. So I left my dad's companies after he was forced to retire, and I started my own career. I became the president of an electronic hand tool company. We manufactured in China, just in time for delivery to hardware stores in the US, Europe, and China. We learned to be big. We were 7 people. We had our process and our metrics down pat. I became the chief financial officer of a medical device company. They figured out that I had von Willebrand's disease. We did that over a pizza lunch. I had a hospital check it out later. It took them months and a lot of blood. The value of metrics and process had become personal to me. In October 1995, my wife left me. A few days later, my dad came to visit. He never did that. He died 2 days later. I had to go on a business trip the following week. When I came home, the company was reorganized and I lost my job. I came home from that meeting and I let my cat in from outside. The cat was quite clearly very sick, and by the next morning, I had to put him down. And I still had a couple of weeks left in October. I received my dad's watch not long after that. But time had stopped for me. I stopped wearing a watch. I took the clocks off the wall of my house. My personal metrics didn't matter to me anymore. A bit later, I found myself as the chief financial officer of a consumer electronics company. That company had lots of written and unwritten rules and behavior and all kinds of metrics. To function there without a watch and before cell phones were prevalent, I had to develop my own process, my own procedures. I was always early, but never late. Eventually, and fortunately, I met the woman of my dreams. It took her a few years to figure out that I wasn't interested in time like everybody else. But she decided that I needed a new watch. The first one I graciously accepted, but I never wore. A couple of years went by. She gave me another watch. This time, it was on my birthday, the anniversary of my dad's stroke over 25 years before. I'm wearing that watch now. My personal metrics matter to me now. During those 25 years, I studied a lot of process and a lot of procedure, my own and others. I know that process and metrics are tied tightly together. When you combine process and metrics together with your business plan, you have a recipe to scale your business. Everyone has a process in their business. Few have operational metrics. The magic happens when you combine your process and compare it to the best in breed. Metrics monitor your results. Those who evolve their practices and monitor their metrics transform their operational maturity into a strategic weapon. At Tools for Data, we manage your information technology. We keep it secure, but we focus on your operational maturity. Our process develops your metrics. It evolves your process, and it creates your strategic weapon. Thank you.